Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Mustang mods, and this time it's going to be a biggie. This time I'm going to paint my calipers. So if you do own a Mustang like this, a Mustang GT, then you'll know that it just comes with basic sort of calipers. They are Brembos, but if you look at this, they're just painted black, which is awful. So come on Ford, you know, you could have done better than that. So what I'm going to attempt to do today is I'm going to attempt to actually paint these a different colour. Now, I've chose the colour myself. I was torn between two colours. I bought a tin of paint for both of them, but I think I've got the one that I'm favourite for. So come on guys, comment down below. Don't cheat, don't skip forward in this video to see what colour I've used, but comment down below if you think you can guess what colour I'm going to use. And let's see if you are right. So first job is to get the car jacked up and get the wheels off, so let's do that. So the first tool I'm going to need for this job is a jack, which I've got down there. So I've got a low access jack, so it should easily fit under this because this car isn't low like my Porsche used to be. And also for this you're going to need one more item, because the actual Mustang, it comes with creases where you need to jack it up on. Now your side skirts there are very tight to those creases, so what you're going to need is you're going to need one of these. So this is a jacking pad, so it's basically a solid bit of rubber but with a little slot in it, so that will go under the crease. Let me show you where those go. So here I am at the side skirt of the car here, and this is the front of the car is that way, back is that way. So if you look under here, let me show you. Okay, so this is the side skirt, and the side skirt's got various cutouts going along it, and that's where it's bolted on. But it's got the front at the back, it's got one long cutout like this. So if you see now, this jacking pad will actually go from the other side. This jacking pad will actually fit in there like that, enable me to jack the car up, and I've got the same at the back end. So I only need one jacking pad to actually do that. And the next thing I'm going to need, the next tool that I need to buy, is some of these, which are similar sort of concept to the jacking pad, but these are for the axle stands. Is that focusing? There you go. So again, it's got a cutout, but it will fit on an axle stand. So I've got my axle stand here, and that is just going to fit on there, like that. And then I can get the crease of the car in there when I jack it up. So let's jack this car up. So my first change of plan, because if I do use this to go into the cutout that's there, then when I've jacked the car up using that cutout, I won't be able to get this into the cutout. So what I'm going to do, because I've got a really small round circle on the end of this jack here, I'm just going to be careful and just make sure it just goes on the actual seam and doesn't touch the side skirt. So let's do that. Always unlock your car before jacking it up, because it thinks it's been stolen when it's getting jacked. Okay, now them rubber axle stand adapters that I've got, all it's done is just crushed it right down. I'm not happy with how it's done that, but to be honest, it is still on the seam, so we shouldn't have any damage. Definitely not going to fall off, so we can carry on. Okay, to make it fit better, I've taken the pads, jacking pads that I got, or the jack stand pads, and I've modified them. I've cut them two rubber parts off here because they're just real floppy. They're supposed to fit either side of the head of the jack stand, but mine are too wide, and I think that should work a lot better. So I'm going to replace this one with this modified one. To be honest, these pads are pretty rubbish, and I don't think I'm going to use them. I'm just going to make sure that the seam just sits across on that part there, and that should be fine. Here we can see my first look under here actually. So one big massive Brembo caliper there, which is actually huge. Look at it compared to my hand. Quite a big disc, which is good, and I've just had a look at this, and I always worried whether I did have magna ride or not, but as you can see, I've got this extra wire coming down here, and that goes to the bottom of this, and that gives you the magna ride. So definitely got a magna ride on this car. So what we need to do now is we're going to need to mask off all of this area so I don't get any paint on the discs. I think I'm going to paint this as well, so I've got some Hammerite black just to turn that into black, because I am looking possibly getting some wheel spacers, but I need to measure these, because what I've heard talk about is that the wheel studs on the front wheels on a magna ride car are a bit too long for a 20mm spacer. So when you put your 20mm spacer on, these stick out too much and you can't get your wheel over. The wheels do have a recess behind for these, but I don't think it's deep enough, so I'm going to need to do a bit of measuring, just see how much stud's left, see how much would go in the back of the wheel to see whether I can get 20mm on. So let me show you this. This is a 15mm spacer that I had left over from me 911, and look at the amount of thread that's left sticking out of there. So if I just had another 5mm spacer to make it 20, which is all I need to bring these wheels out, I'm going to have at least another 20mm of stud sticking out. Now check this out as well. So I'll turn the wheel around and have a look. My wheel has got no recesses at all to take the studs. I've got a couple down there, I don't know what them 3 or 4, but I've got none here. So therefore I would not be able to put any spacers on where the studs protruded further than the actual spacer itself. So I can't, unless I can change those studs or cut them. I don't think I want to cut those studs. I don't think I'm going to get any spacers on the front of these wheels at all. Oh well, never mind, that's not today's job anyway. Today's job is painting the caliper, so let's get the masking done. Okay, so I started masking up, but I've decided just to turn the wheel outwards so I can get full access to the back here. It's going to make it a little bit easier, so let's carry on. Now, because I'm not spraying these, I'm actually going to hand paint them, so therefore I don't have to go mad and cover everything here to stop any overspray, because the hand painting you won't get any overspray. So all I've done is just taped up around the silver part here. So I'm going to do again is, as I said earlier, I'm going to use Hammerite black. I'm going to paint this black as well, just to kind of match it a bit, darken it up, because when I get the black wheels done, then that's going to look a bit daft. Okay, so now we've just got to prep the actual Brembo, so we need to do just a little bit of slight sanding, and then we need to get some wax and grease remover on there, just to make sure there's no oils to stop the paint from sticking. So let's do that. So now that the prep's done on the car for the front disc brake, it's time for the paint reveal. So what did you guess? Okay, here we go. So I bought 2 tins of paint, and after I bought the first one, I changed my mind and I went and bought the second one. So let me show you what are the 2 colours that I chose from. So initially I went with this colour, which is red. So I thought, yeah, Brembo's red, that'll be a good colour to do it. But one person did say to me, oh, everybody does them red, why don't you do something different? So I thought, okay, so I had a look around, and what I've now chosen is this colour here, which is lime green. So haters will hate, but it's my car, I can do them any colour that I like, and I think the green will go nice with the blue of the car. Here we go, the colour reveal. You get to see this the same time as I do. I've not seen it yet, so here we go, and look at that. Oh yes, that's going to stand out. That's going to be lovely. Let's get it on the car. Okay, that's the first coat, and it's gone on pretty well. Obviously it's a little bit liney, but as we build up the coats then it'll get better. So that needs 30 minutes to dry now, so let's go and have a look at the back and we'll start doing the back. So I've changed my mind on the rear caliper because it's very intricate to get around all of this. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to remove it, and that's going to make life a lot easier to paint this, I think. So let's remove this. Easy, 2 bolts basically, and just get the pads off. So now we've got full access to this. So obviously we can clean this up now easier and mask it off around the disc, and that should be easy enough to paint. So to be honest, as it's so easy to do, I think I'm just going to take this off because it's just 2 bolts holding that on. Simple as that. So let me just take this off. There you are, just 2 bolts again. So 4 bolts, you can have all this apart. So that is now going to be much easier to paint. I can just paint that down there. Just having a quick break from doing the car. I'm just going to pop out. I've just been told by another friend of mine who's got a Mustang that is taking it into a garage to get an exhaust done. And this garage is called Dream Science, and apparently they're like Mustang specialists, and unbelievably they're like 5 minutes from my house. So I'm going to pop round there because I know that my friend is going to have a full exhaust fitted to his car, and I'm going to ask him if I can actually come and video that. I'm going to ask him if I can come and video that just for you guys really, so you can see a nice exhaust, full exhaust system being fitted to a Mustang. So let's go see. So yeah guys, this is the place, Dream Science, you see up there. So I'm gonna go in and have a word with them and see what's going on. Yeah, so I've just been seeing him, and it looks pretty good. It's a really nice set of guys, and they said absolutely shouldn't be a problem. So I should be able to video the exhaust being fitted on the day. So stay tuned to the channel, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because it's stuff like that which I think will be very interesting content for you guys to watch. Anyway, back to the brake calipers. So completed now, they're all ready, they're all finished. So you can probably see here the calipers obviously been painted. I've painted the, well, it's not the hub, it's the actual part of the disc, so I've painted that there. Rear caliper, they're all in bits still, so I've got to reassemble them, so that's been done. And the disc is there, which I've obviously painted that as well, and the same on the other side. So next step is to reassemble all the brakes now, and obviously get the wheels back on and get it off these axle stands. So let's do that. So rear caliper all fitted. A couple of tips for you guys when putting this caliper back on. I would put a couple of nuts in, just wheel nuts, just to hold the disc right to the back while you put this piece on, and then get the nuts in for that. And also, before you start any messing around like that, wrap this with a cloth just to stop it getting any knocks and bangs while you're moving it about. Try and get this piece on. So wrap this up, push it out the way, bolt a couple of wheel bolts to hold the disc on, put this on, tighten it up. And also there's a bit of faffing about with these spring clips, which are here. So these spring clips here, now what I would say is put your pads in and just put your caliper on, just so it's just holding the pads in. Then you can insert these clips, can't really show you, can I? They go into holes at the top and the bottom of the actual pads and just live underneath the caliper here. So really they're a little bit of faffing about, but you can get them in. You can get them in from the top here, put the first piece in, then get some pliers and put the second bit in, and then do the same at the bottom. So that'll be my tip on that. So yep, so that's all back together. So I'm going to get the wheel on, and I've done the other side already as well. So I'm going to get the 2 back wheels on, and that's the back finished. Now, I said I'd finished the front, but I haven't, because I've just remembered I ain't got the decals on yet. So I've got some decals coming, some Brembo decals. They've not arrived. They're supposed to be arriving yesterday, but they haven't. So I'm hoping that they're going to come today, and then we can get them on, and then I need to put a bit of lacquer on. But to do all that, I'm going to mask up the car as well. So I'm going to put some plastic over the car to stop any after spray from the lacquer. So let's get the rear wheels back on. Talk about perfect timing. Postman's just been and delivered me a letter, and look what he's brought. Yay, me Brembo decals. So we can now get them on. There we go. The stickers applied. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cover up the car, and then I'll spray a couple of coats of clear coat on top. There we are. I think that should do it. That should stop any overspray. So now let's get the clear, and let's get that on, a couple of coats of that. So this is the paint I'm using with lacquer, which is E-Tech. So I've got it to match the same make as the actual paint as well, E-Tech. So hopefully it should be compatible. There we go. So there we have it. So that's 3 coats of lacquer on there now. So we need to let that dry for a good hour, it says, but I think I'm just going to leave it overnight, and then I'll come back in tomorrow and we can strip all of this masking off and reassemble the brake pads and get the wheels back on. Hey guys, next day now. So everything's dried, so I've just checked the calipers and they're all nice and dry. So let's rip all this off and then we can reassemble the brakes and get the wheels back on, and then get it out the garage and have a look at it. Okay, so what has happened is obviously the way I've been painting, let's see if I can show you. So you probably see that some of the paint has got inside here, and these are the holes where the pins go. So what I'm going to try and do is just clear these out, just with a very small file, and just see if I can get the paint out. That was a bit of hard work. I think in hindsight you're best bunging up these holes before you actually paint, so you don't get the paint in them. I've got a couple of little marks on there, but when I get everything back together, what I'll do, I'll just put a little bit of touch-up paint on them just to clean them up. So let's reassemble the brake pads now. Okay, all done now, so let's get the car out the garage and let's have a look at it in the light. Which means one thing, cold start. So what do you think, guys? Well, I like it. Don't forget it's not there yet because I'm going to get my wheels done gloss black, so I think that will just make a massive difference to letting the green stand out against the gloss black. But as it is now, I'm quite happy with them. It's not a massive professional job, but you know what, to be done just in the garage with a paintbrush, I think it's come out alright. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if you like the colour as well. Just drop in the comment. I'm sure I'm going to get loads of haters, but hey, you know, it's my car, so this is the colour that I wanted. Don't forget, I've done all this work just for you so that you can watch and learn from this, so please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing and it really does help me on the YouTube statistics, so please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. So until the next time, hope you enjoyed this. Stay safe.